Everybody, I'm Narendra Kumar, and we are in this series of videos on a book, a great book called Poetics by the great Aristotle. And there are many parts to it, and this is the first part. Let's start. First part, Poetics by Aristotle. I propose to treat of poetry. I propose to treat of poetry, which means treat poetry, in itself, in itself, and of its various kinds, noting the essential quality of each. Various kinds, he'll note the essential qualities of each. Aristotle writes very clearly, very beautifully. Essential quality of each, to inquire into the structure of the plot, to inquire into the structure of the plot story as requisite to a good poem and story here, into the number. That is the first thing, structure of the plot. Second one, into the number and nature of the parts, into the number and nature of the parts of which a poem is composed, and similarly into whatever else falls within the same inquiry. Following then the order of nature, let us begin with the principles which come first: epic poetry and tragedy, comedy also, and dithyrambic poetry, and the music of the flute and of the lyre in most of their forms are all in their general conception modes of imitation. They differ, however, from one another in three respects: the medium, all are imitations, all these arts are imitation, but they differ from one another in three respects. One, the medium, the objects, the manner or mode of imitation, being in each case distinct, obviously. Yet he is making it very clear. For as there are persons who by conscious art or mere habit imitate and represent various objects through the medium of color and form, or again by the voice, so in the arts above mentioned, taken as a whole, the imitation is produced by rhythm. One type of imitation is rhythm, language, or harmony, either singly or combined. Thus, in the music of the flute and of the lyre, lyre, harmony and rhythm alone are employed. Also, in other arts, such as that of the shepherd's pipe, which are essentially similar to these. In dancing, rhythm alone is used without harmony. For even dancing imitates character, emotion, and action by rhythmical movement. There is another art which imitates by means of language alone, and that either in prose or verse. Poetry, which verse again may either combine different meters or consist of but one kind. But this has hitherto been without a name. For there is no common term we could apply to the mimes of Sophron, Sophron, and Xenarchus, Zednarchus, and the Socratic dialogues on the one hand, and on the other to poetic imitations in iambic, elegiac, iambic, elegiac, elegiac, or any similar meter. People do indeed add the word maker or poet to the name of the meter and speak of elegiac poets or epic, that is hexameter poets, as if it were not the imitation that make the poet, but the verse that entitles them all indiscriminately to the name. Even when a treatise on medicine or natural science is brought out in verse, the name of poet is by custom given to the author, and yet Homer and Empedocles have nothing in common but the meter. So, so that it would be right to call the one poet, the other physicist rather than poet. On the same principle, even if a writer in his poetic imitation were to combine all meters, as Raymond did in his centaur, Centaur, which is a medley composed of meters of all kinds, we should bring him to under the general term poet. So much then for these distinctions. He's made the word clear. He's actually making it very clear and obvious. There are again some arts which employ all the means above mentioned, namely rhythm, tune, and meter. See, when you clearly explain that, you go to into a kind of depth. At least I feel it like that. There are again some arts which employ all the means above mentioned, namely tune, tune, and meter. Such are dithyrambic and gnomic poetry, and also tragedy and comedy. But between them, the difference is that in the first two cases, these means are all employed in combination. In the latter, now one means is employed, now another, not always together. Such then are the differences of the arts with respect to the medium of imitation. So that's the whole point he made of the imitation. Anyway, you have heard the word by word. You can read it, hear this video again. You can read the original and come to your own conclusion. When we reach the end, everything will become clear. You will see the power of Aristotle. He takes the whole He doesn't leave anything. You know, he puts it all under beautiful categories. It's a great clarity. All that nobody has to tell you. That's the whole point of reading firsthand. Nobody has to tell you what Aristotle said or what he meant or who said about him and this and that. You don't have to read about Aristotle. You have to read Aristotle. You don't have to read Aristotle with some kind of a confusion. You must have correct study methods. You must read every word, every line. Read the lines, read between the lines, call out whatever you in your whole perception are seeing and grasping. That is plain study skills. All we are saying is that there are only 100 great books. Really, there are only 100, not even 100, which made our world. And that gives a first-hand understanding of the world. It answers all your first-hand, all the wonder questions. Many of the times you don't even know the questions. They give you the questions and they give you the answers. Aristotle was a great man who did that. In fact, they say that there's nothing that he didn't ask. It's a bit of an exaggeration. But in that time and in basic terms, it is not. Somebody had to do it. He did it. Anyway, this is enough from me. Sticking to our policy, we read books word by word and we understand. Thank you.